Hey, good morning. Welcome to the Stokastic.com MLB strategy show / live before lock. Yeah, we got a little 5-game action for the early slate. Weird way that some of these games are timed today. Like Phillies and Reds play at 5 Eastern. Odd. But yeah, I mean, we got a nice 6-game night slate. Got a 5-game early slate. We also have decent amount of weather as well. So keep an eye out for that. We'll dive into it. But before anything, glad to have you guys here. If you don't mind, take a single second. Atone for your sins this fine morning. Hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below if you're listening or watching after the fact. Understandably, this is a live before lock, but not really, right? I mean, slate locks at 2:10 Eastern time. We'll be out of here by around noon. Still have 2 hours. If you're jumping in late, feel free to rewind it. People always jump in, they go, oh man, I missed half the show. Dude, just, pull it on back. YouTube has those wonderful capabilities. But anyway, glad you guys could join. We've got one, by the way, Fistula, funny comment. Not putting that on the screen, but funny comment. The problem is the reason sometimes I'm a couple minutes late. It's not intentional, obviously, because I have a bunch of other stuff to do throughout the day. And if I don't get to it in the morning, then I just stress over it not being done because I have an hour-long call after this. And then, so instead you guys have to suffer the 2 to 3 minutes of tardiness each and every day. But you know what? We're okay. Plus, there's no real hard out on anything like this. So it is what it is. Apologies. But glad to have you. Andy, Brandon, Fistula, Ken, all you guys. Will. I'm not going all the way up. Cujo, hey, Nate, Ryan. Let's get into some baseball for today. Yeah. So a couple of things to consider here. First off, weather. Just pay attention to it. I think it should be, for the most part, okay for this early slate. It's the night slate that looks bad because you have 2 games in New York. You have the Mets hosting the Braves. You have the Yankees hosting Minnesota. Both of those look pretty rough. And I know, as someone that lives in southeast the suburbs of Philadelphia, that it's not supposed to be great here later in the day either. We're expected to get a bunch of storms. So I assume it's just like a northeast thing, and everybody's going to get hit. So if that's the case, well, it is what it is, but we're talking early slate, so it doesn't matter nearly as much. We got to dive into it with Brandon Woodruff, though. We just saw Freddie Peralta light up this god-awful Pittsburgh team. Mentioned to you guys yesterday, I won't go through all the numbers again, but the Pittsburgh Pirates are downright terrible against lefties and righties alike. I mean, as the season continues to wear on, the Pirates just become further and further separated from any other competent team in the league. And that's not against a single-handed pitcher. Like, lefties, righties, doesn't matter. They've been terrible. Meanwhile, Woodruff, since coming off the IL, not all that long ago, right, has been awesome. Like, this guy is an elite pitcher. It's easy to forget about some of these guys who are sidelined for such a long period of time. I know he's giving up like a pair of runs each start, but you can stomach that when you're getting 8 to 10 strikeouts. You know what I mean? Like, the one start that we played him in Seattle, and he wasn't even popular because it was only his 3rd start. His pitch count had been pretty low, and that was kind of our big stand. And he came out because he had like cramping or something, but not before he went 6 scoreless with 5 Ks against Seattle. He was at 62 pitches through 6 innings. Dude was legitimately tracking a complete game shutout. But then he threw 85 pitches after that, 6 innings, 88 in 6 innings, 79 in 7 innings last time out. So, yeah, you can look at the fact that he's giving up, a run or two here or there. There is no denying how wildly efficient he's been. He had one time where he wasn't just downright stupid efficient, and that was his 2nd start against Washington. 79 pitches for 7 innings, even 88 in 6 innings. Like, that's still efficient. The guy, any other pitcher in that scenario, they're letting them go 7, right? 85-6, 62-6, 78 pitches in 6 innings. So if you're getting all of that with Woodruff and you're attaching that to a 35% K rate so far through his first 35 innings against the Pittsburgh team, you know what? Fuck it. I will mention Pittsburgh's numbers to you because they're so abysmal they deserve repeating. 295 WRC plus against righties this year. That is 5 points worse than the White Sox, who are the next worst team. 85 WRC plus, dead last. 118 ISO. Usually at least some of these teams that are in the basement and every other notable category at least have decent power. Nope. 118 ISO. The next worst team is the Reds at 139. You're 21 points behind the 29th ranked team in isolated slugging this year. Well, at least they put the ball in play, right? Yeah, wrong. Pittsburgh Pirates are now 4th in K rate at 23.5% against righties. They have a 3.3 run implied total today. I haven't looked, but if I had to guess, the Milwaukee Brewers are, so it's Mitch Keller on the other side, actually a decent pitcher. You know, not great, but a decent pitcher. By the way, how about Skeens yesterday? Milwaukee's just a buzzsaw right now. Mitch Keller on the other side, they've got to still be like minus 200 favorites here at home with how good Woodruff's been and how good the bullpen is. They got to be minus 200. Let me see. I'll pull it up real quick. On my end, I won't bother pulling it up on the screen here. If my computer will load, of course, but it's besides the point. It's clearly a good spot for Brandon Woodruff. It's no surprise that he is 22% higher in top 2 pitcher probability in the top pitcher stool than any other pitcher on a 5-game slate. So you have 9 remaining pitchers. He's at 46. The next best is below 25%. I understand he's going to be owned. I haven't looked at our exposures yet in the Sims tool, although I did run them. I would be shocked if Brandon Woodruff isn't far and away our highest exposed pitcher. You know what? I don't want to guess any longer. Yeah, look at 93% Brandon Woodruff. 93%. How shocked should we be, though? I mean, are you guys going to eat the chalk here on Brandon Woodruff? Because it feels like a tough spot to get away from. Thank you, Brendan. Milwaukee minus 220. All right, so I was close, right? I mean, just a truly insane spot. Truly crazy spot for Brandon Woodruff. If you want to go elsewhere, go for it. But the one thing I'd say about this is there isn't actually a pitcher that comes close to being nearly as good or profiling nearly as well as Woodruff today. So results aside, right? And anything you decide to do with your own lineups, all of that aside, there is nobody, and you guys wouldn't argue this because it would be futile. There isn't anybody that profiles even close to as well as he does today. And I bet you if I go into the live odds, I will, Brendan. I'll throw the FanDuel top pitchers tool up there. Let me go to the live odds over at OddsShopper, by the way, which is free, and just look at strikeouts for this early slate. Let me sort it from soonest first. I mean, Woodruff, okay, 6.5, juice to the over. Penny's at 7.5. Circa's at 7.5. BetMGM at 7.5. Juice to the under, obviously, but still. Keller's at 4.5. Lugo at 4.5. You see what I'm saying here? Troy Melton at 4.5. I don't know how many pitches he's going to throw. The last 2 appearances were out of the bullpen. Good matchup against the White Sox. Don't ask Jack Flaherty if it's an easy matchup, but it should be. 4.5 for Shane Smith. 3.5 for Jake Irvin. 4.5 for Michael McGreevy. 3.5 for Austin Gomber. 5.5 for Zach Gallen. And 5.5 for Merrill Kelly. So at least those, are inching closer to what we're looking for. But you look at the earned runs department, there's no doubt. You're going to have 1.5 on Woodruff. Minus 150 at 1.5. Merrill Kelly, 2.5. Gallon, 2.5. Yeah, I mean, it's just silly at this point. I guess the only question now is when you talk about pitching outs, like what are you going to have Woodruff at? 16.5 or 17.5? Just because he hasn't thrown a ton of pitches. 17.5, still juiced to the over. Far and away the best spot. For sure. For sure. Ken says, get different somewhere else. You can absolutely do that. And I know if the Sims are giving us 93% of Brandon Woodruff, that we're going to get weird at the stacks. No doubt. No doubt. Hey, Dave, on 4K entry contest, would you use the 2K pool size on the Sims or the 5K? I'd use actually the 2K. It's a good question. Even though it's a little bit further away from 4, I would actually use the 2K there. I think you'll get more than enough options, especially on a slate, with 2 smaller slates. But yeah, Josh, this is the spot where Woodruff gets rocked. I think he got rocked his last start. He did not. He went 7 innings, 3 hits. He gave up 2 solo shots, which I promise you we can live with. If he wants to give up solo shots all day long, if you told me you get Brandon Woodruff today, he's guaranteed to give up 2 solo shots and that's it. Will you take it at 10K? And nobody in their right mind is saying no to that. I mean, he still had 29 last time out, gave up 2 earned the time before that, had 28. Right? Like solo shots have been his problem this year. He's given up, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 home runs through his first 6 starts, and I think 6 of them have been solo shots. He's given up 7 home runs and 9 runs. You guys do the math. 7 home runs and 9 runs. That's fine. Fine. Clear a home run, nobody on. Josh, trust me, brother. I understand he's by far the best pitcher, but it's baseball. No, I get it. I'm just saying he didn't get, you said he got blown up last start. I'm just saying he didn't get blown up last start. Plan B, Lavi, I believe you missed a few super chats, especially on my expensive monthly one. Let me guess. It says happy birthday. Let me guess. Happy birthday, Lavi. Wow, 43, huh? 43 months for you. That's crazy, man. No, not my birthday. As I've mentioned, March, but this is a running bit that Plan Smoothie doesn't get tired of. But I appreciate you, man. Austin, see, again, yeah, are we forgetting the Pirates don't hit home runs? It is pretty crazy, right? That this team has a 118 ISO. Let's actually see where they rank in just raw home runs totals. You guys have to be as curious as me, right? At this point in the season, it just gets fun. So they actually, I won't even go against, well, I will go against righties. That's holy crap. The fact that, so Pittsburgh's bad. The fact that Baltimore is, can that be real? That can't be right? I need to refresh this. There's simply no way the Baltimore Orioles, actually, let me click out of active roster here. Okay, yeah, there you go. Active roster, big difference. But so 49 total home runs against righties for Pittsburgh this year. Total home runs, not active roster. Pittsburgh has 66 home runs. 66 home runs. Crazy. What is the irony, Jake? I actually don't know what you're referring to. 66 total home runs on the season. Hey, Eric, what's up, brother? That's incredible. I get what you're saying, Jake. The whole plan B. I got you. I got you. Yeah, no, I got it. I didn't know you were factoring his name, and I thought you meant some type of irony with me. Yeah, got you. It's sick. You're sick. The other pitches we look at here. Seth Lugo against Washington. All right. Merrill Kelly against Arizona after just being traded. Right? So now you've got Merrill Kelly and Zach Gallen. The pitching, man, really fell off this year for Arizona. Like a team that had some pretty solid and promising pitchers just totally fell off, man. I don't know what to make of that, but that is the case. I mean, Michael McGreevy, we may actually have to consider him today. We honestly might have to consider Michael McGreevy. You don't have to love it, but we may have to consider it. Right? Colorado has a 3.8 team total. It's the second lowest on the slate. Pretty crazy. They are a unbelievably putrid team. I think Michaelis had a no-hitter like 4 innings into the game. Ended up not being great, not being bad. At that price point, it was whatever. McGreevy's got virtually no strikeout stuff. It sucks. But do we just have to bite the bullet and get to some Michael McGreevy against the terrible Colorado team? I honestly feel like we do. Even though he hasn't been striking a lot of guys out, he's been pitching pretty deep into games. No real pitch limitations. 91, 99, 90, 87 over his last 4. 6 innings, 4 and 2/3. He got blown up, but that was against San Diego. 7 innings. In Colorado, no less. 1 earned, only 1 strikeout. But you may just have to consider this, even though he doesn't strike guys out. Typically, we hate getting to these type of pitchers. These type of pitchers typically don't do much for us because the upside isn't there. And that's what sucks, because if Colorado does score a couple of runs, you're pretty much looking at like an 8 spot for McGreevy. Sucks. He's got a 7.8% swinging strike rate, 24.5% called plus swinging strike rate. Not great stuff. But Melton's 8,700. I have very difficult time believing he's stretched out enough to be viable at that price point. Mitch Keller at 7,700. You may just have to get to some of him today just because he's a decent enough pitcher. I'm sure they regret giving him that contract, but probably still somewhat viable just given the makeup of this slate. But I don't want to. I don't want to go to Jake Irvin. Has a 3.5K prop today. Certainly no interest in Austin Gomber at 5K flat. It's actually remarkable how bad these Rockies pitchers are, to the point where you just can't play them. I know sometimes people want to get to Dollander or Freeland or something, but everybody is just unplayable every single time they're on the slate. Nuts. Devin Klein, Merrill Kelly, Zach Gallen, same guy. Same game. Used to be the same team. Merrill Kelly's 8,800. That's a viable spot. The ultimately what it boils down to, I think, is just play good pitchers on this slate. If you're not just grinning and bearing a Michael McGreevy play here, I think you pretty much just have to target good pitchers. Brandon Woodruff, to me, I understand the ownership. I don't really want to get away from that. There's not a single other pitcher on this slate that I think actually looks great. Anthony, how do the Rockies not have one decent pitcher in their entire organization? I don't know, dude. I don't know. Eric, is the Reds game going to play? Probably, but it's also not on this slate. It's not on really any slate. It's a 5 o'clock game. Really weird start time. So, okay, Kyle, Woodruff and the low guys not touching Merrill Kelly. Yeah, Kelly's pretty expensive. 8,800 is not exactly a discounted price point for him. There's an argument to be made that he's a decent pitching option today, but also Arizona is not the best matchup either. You don't really have a ton of great matchups here. Shane Smith, somebody mentioned him at 7K. I kind of agree that just because he's so cheap, how much different really is Shane Smith than like a 8,300 Gallon or a $8,800 Kelly? At least with Seth Lugo, he's got a pretty decent matchup, but it's not great. Washington doesn't strike out a ton. They're a lot better against righties than they are against lefties. Notice I didn't say they're good. They're a lot better against righties than they are against lefties. They only strike out 20% of the time. Actually have a 155 ISO, which is, slightly below middle of the pack, but they're not good, right? Like it's still a advantage Seth Lugo in this spot. But yeah, Merrill Kelly's 8,800 against the Arizona Diamondbacks. And Arizona hits for power against righties. They have a 20.5% K rate, bottom 10 in the league, bottom 10 in baseball, 114 WRC plus. And that's the active roster. Do I think Kelly's terrible today? No, Arizona's got a 4.1 total, but there is something about Shane Smith that's kind of alluring here because he's so cheap. And that most people aren't going to want to go to him against Detroit. He only has 11% ownership, but we have him with the 4th highest top 2 pitcher probability. The same as McGreevy, higher a little bit, marginally higher than Zach Gallen. Not far behind Merrill Kelly or Seth Lugo. So he's the highest, the most positively leveraged pitcher on the slate. It's not crazy. 22.5% K rate. I'd consider Shane Smith. Yeah. I'd consider him. Eric, rule of thumb, when it's day baseball, whatever you think will happen won't. Definitely possible. Brandon, worry about Shane Smith. Dude goes like 4 or 5 innings max. Yeah, efficiency is not his strong suit. I'll give you that. And his pitch count has been a little bit low here. But also not expensive. And the kind of, I'd say the fascinating thing about this slate is once you get past Brandon Woodruff, there aren't really any guys that stand out as pitchers that you think. Like if I were to ask you guys, who's got like 30 DK point upside on this slate, not named Brandon Woodruff? Who is it? That's not a rhetorical question. I'm seriously asking. Who is it? Maybe Lugo? Maybe? Like I'd say Lugo is probably the guy that would get it done. The matchup for Merrill Kelly isn't easy. Zach Gallen this season has just been a disaster, although he has flashes from time to time, those spike weeks we talk about. McGreevy's not giving you 30 unless he goes complete game shutout. The guy just has absolutely zero ability to miss bats. Troy Melton's probably not stretched out enough. Mitch Keller's got a brutal spot against a team that can't lose right now. Jake Irvin and Austin Gomber aren't doing it. So I'd say, yeah, it's probably Lugo and then Merrill Kelly and then Gallen. And I'm not saying Shane Smith's got that in the tank, especially with, I forget who mentioned it in chat, but the inability to work deep into these games. What I am saying though is he's $7,000, which I think is justifiable. Let me see if any of you guys answered this. Devin says nobody. Ryan, Lugo, and Gallen, I agree. It's an interest. Eric Johnson. See, here's the odd thing. If you leave a word out of a question, right? Did StreamYard this? Did StreamYard? Come on. Does StreamYard like censor these things? I was gonna put it up there for you guys, but it's not there. He says, I can fucking chat, right, Dave? Sorry if I can't. If you if you can figure out a way, then go for it, man. I can't see what you're doing on the other side of the screen, but I assume you left out the word say, right? You're essentially asking if you can curse. But it's yeah. Go for it, man. Honestly, I'd be honored if you had this on in the background. I'm not sure how pleased your girl would be with it, but to me, I would take it as a great honor. But yeah, I don't care. I try to not curse too often in this because I know some people will be like driving their kids to school on the West Coast or to daycare or something, you know? And then I just come out like, so I try and self-censor for the purpose of we have a good audience and I don't want to just be a scumbag. But there are times where like I had to talk about that. That was just too good. That was too good. But yeah, anyway, yes, Steven, the homers really get the blood flowing. Yeah, it's early and Eric's at it already. Trousers down, ready to pump. Eric, you have to be 18 to play DFS. I know, I'm saying that you have people like, I have people all the time that like, damn, Lafayette, I got my kids in the car, which, you know, this YouTube channel actually says not kid friendly. That's probably because of DFS being 18 plus, not because they expect us to have foul language. But yeah. Anyway, that's what we got at pitching. Let's look at our exposures. Obviously Woodruff, but then also McGreevy's up there. And I think a lot of this is just the fact that, hey, you're pairing McGreevy with a 10.5K pitcher. We're not getting a lot of Kelly, but Seth Lugo at 24%. Look at that, 28% Shane Smith. I did not expect that. No Zach Gallen. No, you know, nothing from like no Irvin or Austin Gomber. Those guys, that's to be expected. But it's Woodruff, it's McGreevy, it's Shane Smith, it's Seth Lugo. Let's have some fun here and see what happens when we pull up our stacks, because this is where we're going to get a better idea of what the Sims plan on doing. Then we'll look at individual exposures and actually look at the lineups. Maybe we'll build a lineup together as well before getting to a little home run roulette for the day. Marquee Sports, if you have kids, you shouldn't be gambling. Could not disagree more with you, brother. Could not disagree more. Why would you say, what makes you think that? You shouldn't be irresponsibly gambling. But hey, there's a liquor store at every street. You know what I mean? Nobody says anything about that. No, anything done without moderation, I'm not going to sit here and lecture you, is a bad thing. You know? Eric pumping off in chat. If he's coming in here and doing that every morning, you know, at least he politely requested it at least, but if you're doing that every morning, that's not good. Kids or no kids. You know what I mean? But anyway, tripped easy. Laffy being a Philly guy would expect the foul language, but it's actually Eric and Greg that say the crazy shit. Yeah, but again, this is the morning. I've noticed the morning has an audience that maybe whatever. Anyway, hey, if you haven't done so yet, hit that thumbs up. I appreciate you guys. Goes a long way. Tone for your sins. Can we get to 100? That'd be nice. On a little live before lock action. What are we at now? Like 20? 68. Okay, let me hit it. 69. Yeah, 31 to go. We can get there. No problem. But, yeah, so let's talk stacks here. Michael Peterson. Yeah. All right. Stack exposure, 5-man stacks. Texas. Okay, I knew we'd have something a little odd. Where's Texas as far as ownership in stacks? They're down there at 8%, but we have them with a top 4 stack score against Zach Gallen. Actually, love that. Why would you not? So you're telling me that Texas is getting the 8th most ownership? Sorry, 7th most ownership among 10 teams against Zach Gallen, who has not been good this year? Solid stack score, positively leveraged over any other stack. Where do they rank in top value? Oh, love to see it. Texas, number 2 in top value. You know, naturally, you're just going to have ownership going to this St. Louis team. A lot going to Kansas City, too, against Jake Irvin. A decent amount to Detroit against Smith. Mitch Keller getting some ownership against him for that Minnesota or Milwaukee stack. But Zach Gallen's allowing 1.5 home runs per 9 this year. Not great at all. Yeah, over 1.5 home runs per 9 on the road. 21.9% K rate. I do think he's been a little bit unlucky this year, but that shouldn't we shouldn't ignore that this matchup's not bad. What's tough is that Texas stinks, but if you're going with Woodruff, you got to be different in some ways, and I think this is one way to do it. You know? Eric, I'm on Jake Irvin. I took him under 6.5 hits allowed. All right. Yep. Plan B, the reason some of these guys got out of it, like, well, Alex settled down with a family and also made millions of dollars playing DFS, right? It was, it was a full-time job for him. He played every slate for every single sport. He built his own projections. You know, the Sims, the top stacks, the top pitchers, all that stuff you see, originated with Alex before anyone really had that stuff. He just decided, I'm going to do it anymore, And, you have an edge as he did. I mean, Alex had just a massive edge. He was, cutting edge on everything he did at the point and, was ahead of the curve. But then when people catch up, you kind of have to reinvent what you're doing. That's at least my interpretation of it. He's never, said all of that. But, it's like you don't just coast after you figured something out. Marquee Sports, he might have. Also, again, he got married and then shortly thereafter had his first child. That type of stuff. For those of you who have kids, even one, but once you have multiple, it's a massive time commitment. Unless you're a deadbeat, in which you have all the time in the world to play DFS. But yeah, Texas, St. Louis, there's an interesting one. St. Louis, we're getting, my guess is probably around the field. Yeah, we're going to be around the field on St. Louis. Knockout, thank you for the $20 super chat, my friend. Very nice of you. I appreciate the support. Thank you for taking time to educate the masses. For me, time well spent. Good luck. Thanks, man. I'm glad. Very glad, and thank you for that. Very generous. Hey, Olson, I got kids with kids. I'm only 47. Smart. I wish I had them earlier. People always, you're going to have a third kid? I'm 38. I don't want to have my third kid at 40, which I know a lot of people that do that. There's nothing wrong with it. I just, We'll wait and see if Josh is going to have one at 43. I doubt it. Washington, Milwaukee. All right, so let's go ahead and see who our actual top stacks are, our highest exposed stacks are. So we got a lot of Texas and a lot of St. Louis. 3, 4, and 5 mans on St. Louis because you're never going to get really a significant discount there. Although today the tools suggest, the top stacks tool suggests that this is actually a pretty decent value on St. Louis against Austin Gomber. Despite it not being in Coors, you know, Austin Gomber's no good. Highest implied total on the slate is St. Louis, neck and neck with Kansas City. Detroit, Texas at 4-6, which really isn't bad against Gallon in Texas. Washington against Lugo. Okay, so there is a spot where I assume you're getting leverage, right? Washington, yeah, for sure. I doubt they'll be all that popular. The only team that's getting like no ownership whatsoever is Pittsburgh against Woodruff, and that makes a lot of sense. Any of you guys plan on getting to Colorado here? Anyone? Arcathel's, I'm 36 with a 17-year-old. Yeah, man, you. How about that? But yeah, that's where we're at. I want to look at individual exposures too, because this can kind of open our eyes to some things. And by the way, you guys already know, you ever want to get access to these tools, DM me at Laffy_D. My handle's right there at the bottom left of the screen. Twitter, Instagram, same thing. Ask me, hey, Laffy, can I get that code? Absolutely. Give you a big discount code for a week or a month, whichever one you want of the Sims. Or very simply, just use the link in the description. Sign up with any of our sportsbook partners. That's it. Every single one of these equals a free month of the Sims. You got football season coming up, right? Go ahead and stack. If you've been thinking about it and haven't done it yet, just click that claim offer link and follow these 4 steps. All of these minimum deposits are $5 or $10. That's all it is. And you're getting a free month of the Sims, which, yeah, they're expensive, but not when you do it this way. Plus, you're getting bonus bets back. You're getting your cash deposit bonus matched. The most no-brainer way to get them. You could go, you could sign up for 2 of them. Email us, support@stokastic.com, following those simple steps. Go, hey, can I get a month of baseball and also a month of NFL? Bam, you're in. Like, how perfect is that? Make the transition for a total of like $10 or $15, whereas you'd be paying, $250, $300 out of pocket otherwise. No better way to do it. Links down there in the description. So anyway, Josh Smith, James Wood, Jock Peterson, Christian Yelich, Wyatt Langford, Ivan Herrera, and Corbin Carroll, all 20+% exposure. Texas, Washington, Texas, Milwaukee, Texas, St. Louis, Arizona, St. Louis. Corey Seager for Texas. Bobby Witt. We always get Bobby Witt. We are always positively leveraged. Look, even when he's 28% owned against Jake Irvin. CJ Abrams, Mason Wynn, Joey Ortiz. But really, that's nothing. It's really just these 2 guys, Seager and Bobby Witt. At third base, Smith, Michael Garcia. Oh, man, how is that pronounced again? Sugase or something? How is that pronounced? Remember we looked it up yesterday? Sujasi? Thomas Sujasi? Any other big exposures here? Semien, 22%. Garcia, 22%. Brendan Donovan, 19%. Pascantino, 25%. Rowdy Tellez. So just a lot of Texas. Good amount of Kansas City. Some Washington. A lot of St. Louis, obviously. Higashioka, 19%. Paez, 17%. Contreras, 15%. Perez. So like really spread out at a lot of these positions. It is a lot of Woodruff, good amount of McGreevy, Corey Seager, Josh Smith, Bobby Witt, all of those guys at 30+% exposures. You're looking 25+%. You've got Shane Smith, believe it or not, against Detroit. It's that price point and a decent enough K prop. James Wood, Jock Peterson, Christian Yelich, and Pascantino. And Wyatt Langford if you want to round up. That's what we're working with here. Kyle, did we just get a pitcher change for Detroit? Let me see. MLB has Melton. We have Melton. DK has Melton. It's everything I've seen today has been Melton. Yeah. All right, here we go. Let's bring it in. My friend Joshua Engelman, little home run roulette after a rough day in the home run streets. But it's always time to make things better by hitting more home runs. That's exactly what we're going to do. And hopefully the chat doesn't do, because we spin the wheel, whatever it lands on. Meet the criteria, hit a home run. You get the pick. We get the pick. Green means you get a week, and it's the easiest of the Sims if you happen to win. Yellow, a little bit tougher. Red means a free month of the Sims or Portfolio EV. And here's the thing. I go, Josh goes, you go. At the end of the 2 weeks, if the chat ends up beating us, as they did last time in our original iteration of this, we do a big giveaway, and people get some awesome stuff right here on the channel. So type Dinger into chat if you want to be involved. In the next minute, we will pick somebody out of the audience to be today's player in Home Run Roulette, and we will try and redeem ourselves. What's good, brother?
What's going on? We went from win to loss. That feels really familiar.
Yes, it does. Shohei did homer yesterday. It wouldn't have mattered, though, because Carpenter only had one plate appearance.
Everybody from the Yankees homered except for Cody Bellinger. I think they had 4.
Sweet. Yep.
Yeah.
So here's what we'll do.
They were a great stack yesterday. I took them in the perfect lineup for the second straight day, and they were still the 4th best stack.
Well, any 10K pitcher just can't get it done at this point. It's really getting out of, or nine. It's nuts, and good matchups too.
Yeah, you've been terrible.
I don't think you do much better.
It's not me. I didn't do it.
Well, there was also a stretch where I was nailing the pitchers, and you were picking stacks that had 0 runs for like a week and a half straight.
I don't remember that at all.
It's a tough game, man. It is a tough game. With that, you would agree on.
So true. So true.
Are you growing your hair out
today?
Turn your head to the side. Are you growing the hair out?
Oh, no, but I'm delaying haircuts for a while until we leave for Puerto Rico to get a fresh cut for vacation. Okay. Yeah. Yes, it's way too I hate it. Yeah, it's way too long right now, but it's way too long. I hate it.
In the hat, it doesn't look terrible. What about without the hat?
Nope. It looks terrible.
Do you remember do you remember the many years ago where you put your hair in front of your face for that?
Oh, yeah. It's that long now, basically.
I got to find that video, man. That was hilarious. We have a GIF of that somewhere.
When like I was looking like I was in Fallout Boy.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Pick somebody from chat. Let's see what we got. Josh, yeah, Peralta did break the 10K curse. I'm referring to the perfect lineup, though. Every time I pick one of those guys, it just ends up miserably.
Well, just so everybody knows, in 3 weeks, we won't have to worry about Laffy's dog shit picks.
Yeah, you get Josh instead. You should be thrilled about that.
You should.
Hit you with the Rodney Dangerfield eye roll from Caddyshack.
Michael Peterson.
Oh, Michael Peterson, good friend of the show.
Let's spin the wheel for old Mike.
Mike, you have 3 minutes after the wheel lands to make your pick.
Here it comes. Home team. Very easy. Very, very, very easy.
This results in a week of MLB Core Sims in the event that you win.
Correct, it does. And that one's cake. That's the one you're looking for,
Yep. And Michael, if you win, email support@stokastic.com. All right, spinner for me.
I would love to. Here we go. Okay, that's pretty good for you. You're in good shape. You might actually be able to win something for once.
I have more homers than you do.
And yet I'm winning right now.
Right now. We're like 2 days into it, dude. What's that say?
You got to go for a pitcher's park. Sub 95 park factor.
Okay. That's not terrible.
No, I mean, you can, in these situations, you basically get a good hitter in a bad spot. It could be a good pitcher again. Like you could get a shit pitcher in a pitcher's park and be right as rain.
Wait a second. Hold on. I'm in the rolling 3-year, both handed.
Yeah, take that. Turn rolling 3-year off.
And just go for this year?
Yeah.
All right. I was going to say there's one below 9. Wait, there's only 2 below 95.
There's no way that's possible. You're not looking at it right.
For home runs or for park factor?
The home run park factor.
Oh,
they're all park factors. One is for the home run park factor.
No. There is an overall park factor. That's what I was.
Yeah, I agree. But we only care about home runs.
You said park factor, so okay.
Because it's the home run park factor.
Right, but you said park factor. Anyway, that gives us a decent amount then. Yeah. Wow, dude, Rangers Globe Life Field has been really bad for homers. 72. That's second worst in the league.
Yeah, it's a death sentence for homers when it used to be like the number one hitters park.
Right? I mean, we used to call it Coors Southwest.
Like, if I just click on Globe Life to look at the history, it had a 133 home run park factor in 2023.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
All right, so you have Brewers. Well, actually, you can go ahead and spin for yourself.
Right, this is me. Come on. I know it's going to be red. I just have a bad feeling about it.
I hope it is. Oh.
I got to take a rookie.
That is... that's not too tough.
Chad, I'm going to need some help here because I don't know if I can easily see that anywhere.
Chat will be able to help you. There's some pretty versed people in there.
I don't even know where I could filter something like that. Age range. Just gonna set that to like 24. Oh, there's a rookie checkbox on Fangraphs. I fucking never knew that, but that is incredibly helpful at this moment.
What even like classifies a rookie in baseball?
Is that are you being serious?
That's a serious question. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure like a guy could come up for a few innings the previous year, but then still be classified as a rookie. Whereas like in basketball,
130 plate appearances, I think, or something like that.
Right. But I'm saying it's the only sport where you could actually play the previous year and still be classified as a rookie. In football, that's not how it works. You know, basketball, no. That's not how it works.
I mean, like basketball, you can be drafted the year before and never play and then be a rookie in your second year. Right.
But that is playing time.
Sure. It used to be something in the neighborhood of like 130 plate appearances. I don't know if that's what it still is. I mean, this is going to be easy for me. I've got multiple very, very simple options to land on.
Meanwhile, I think American Family Field, Milwaukee, may be where I'm going here. It's a 94 home run park factor. I don't love picking on Mitch Keller, but actually, is that Nats game in Kansas City or is it in? It's in
KC.
Damn, I was hoping it'd be in Washington, but I could go. Actually, that doesn't matter. Yeah, I'll go. I might go Kansas City here, and go. Yeah, you know what? I got it. I'm going Vinny. I'm going Vinny P against Jake Irvin.
Yeah, I mean that's. Like, obviously, it's not the park you're looking for, but you don't have much of a choice for park you're looking for when your qualifications are park factor.
Hey, listen, Washington's a pretty bad homer park, and Jake Irvin's still allowing 1.72 home runs per 9 this year. Vinny P's got some pop. He can hit righties. I genuinely don't hate this spot. 84 degrees there. No real winds, no weather concerns. I think it's actually a pretty good spot for me to choose here. What do you think, chat? We go Vinny P against Jake Irvin?
The two guys that I wanted to go to both have dreadful matchups. I'm getting hosed on that one. Nick Kurtz.
Who are the guys you were thinking?
Well, I was going to go to Nick Kurtz, obviously, or Roman Anthony, but it's Rasmussen and Hunter Brown. So, like, I'm running face first into like actual good pitchers.
Vinny's not a rookie. No, I don't have. No. Vinny's mine. I have to pick a park factor below 95, and Kauffman Stadium certainly isn't good for homers. So that's going to be my play here. I'm going to go Vinny P against Jake Irvin. I think it's a pretty decent spot.
I'm pretty sure I've got mine here too.
Chat's giving you Colson Montgomery too, Josh.
That's where I just pulled it up too. That's where I'm going. Plus 340. Yeah, 100%. I swear.
Okay.
He has the second highest slugging of all qualified active roster rookies right now behind Kurtz. And once I lost out on Kurtz and Roman Anthony, the next guy I pulled up was Montgomery. I literally just pulled it up before they said that. So that's where I'm going. Plus 350.
All right. Perfect. And then home run, we're using DraftKings odds just to keep this kind of uniform here. Vinny P has a plus 550 odds today.
Ooh, that'll be big for you.
That would be big. Plus 550. I do like the matchup. Irvin does give up power regardless of park. It is a brutal home run park. There's no denying that. But you know what? We're going to do it anyway. We're going to go Kansas City, Kauffman Stadium.
You know what's fun?
What's that?
Vinny Pasquantino is someone that has been picked correctly, and we don't have a ton of those so far. He is on the winning. He's in the winning circle already. And the line when he was taken before was plus 380.
Wow. So I'm getting them plus 550 today.
Yeah, very different.
Probably, also, this is a very tough park. Rolling 3-year lefty power home run factor is dead last, actually, at Kauffman Stadium. So
sounds super fun.
Yeah, but in this spot, I'd rather just take the matchup against the guy that gives up an insane amount of power. So,
oh, for sure.
We'll go Vinny P. Also, hasn't he been hitting pretty well lately? I feel like he has.
No idea whatsoever.
Vinny P. Yeah, he's doing okay. 21 bombs on the season, probably like 2 of those at home.
We also got Michael Peterson's pick as well.
Who'd he go with?
Juan Soto at plus 285.
Juan Soto, huh? Okay. The only thing I would say is that weather is rough in that game. But aside from that, against Carlos Carrasco, I don't hate it at all.
165 X ISO for Carrasco over the past 2 years. I don't hate it.
Yeah, he's still
not at all. I mean, it's Juan Soto. Like, I'll take him against anybody. I don't give a shit. Like, he's just awesome.
And Soto on a bit of a heater too, so doesn't hurt.
I'm happy with this. We're getting one today just because of who we picked. Like, these are all too good for us to bagel. I just, I hope it's just me.
I still can't believe none of us parlayed the 3 the other day when all 3 of us hit.
Parlayed all but like one of them in the past. Skipped the one that was 69-1 and cashed. I seriously thought about throwing myself right off my balcony.
Red Skittles, $5 pays $5.63 for Soto, Vinny, and Montgomery. Yeah, let's lock that in.
Yeah.
I'll
cost myself $500 when I wake up tomorrow morning when I see that all 3 of these idiots went yard.
And you forgot to do it.
Yeah.
There you go, Brendan.
Mine goes off early.
307 ISO last 3 weeks. What's that?
I'm game 1 and I'm playing the early today, so we'll know if I've got mine long before everybody else.
Guess what? So am I.
Oh, you too. Yeah.
Yep.
All right, chat. When we get our first 2 and we got to wait on Juan Soto at 7:00, take the cash out.
Well, maybe we'll hedge. Anyway, appreciate you guys. We will be back tomorrow. Let me check tomorrow's slate. Thursdays are odd.
It's really janky. There's a couple 6 p.m. games, so we'll see.
Okay, so yeah, you're going to have a 5-game slate. You're going to have a 5-game slate from it's 6:40 start time. That's what you're going to get.
Yeah.
Yep.
You would think.
That's it. Anyway, appreciate you guys.
Fingers crossed for a 7:10 start.
Never going to happen. Never going to happen.
Not with that attitude, it won't.
No chance. Hey, live before lock tonight. Make sure to stick around for that. Come back for the main slate. And I assume that's Greg and Eric, unless you're on it, but I don't think you're on it.
I am not on it. So I can tell you it's not me.
Yep. But it will soon be you once NFL commences, taking over for
some
strategy show action.
Can't wait.
And, You actually have some cool stuff planned that you've been building, so I think you guys will enjoy it. We'll see you back here.
Yeah.
Have a great early slate, great rest of the night. We'll see you Thursday morning, same time right here on the Stokastic YouTube channel. Bye-bye.